did put a link. Good day. Welcome.
Good day. Hello.
And how are you this day?
I am doing very well this day. And yourself?
I am quite well as myself. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Well, so everyone watching, I have a guest this weekend. This up-and-coming talented young lady is very enthusiastic about Renaissance fairs and is delving into several aspects of them. So without further ado, welcome Careena Campbell.
Thank you so much.
I am so glad you made it this day.
Thank you for having me.
Hi. I will go ahead and present her with several questions, and I'll just have a few comments of my own to wrap up the broadcast this day. So, Careena, I met you last year during the pub sing at Veneta's Queensferry Renaissance Festival, and you and your brother were performing Greensleeves. And I was there thinking, is she going to sing all the verses of Greensleeves? I believe there's 16 or 17, are there not?
Something like that, yes.
And did I hear that you're going to join the cast of Queensferry Renaissance Festival?
Yes, indeed. I am going to be playing the character of Saoirse the Selkie this upcoming festival season at the Veneta Renaissance Festival.
And is that a historical character from Scotland?
It is a historical character from Scottish mythology, yes.
What is this character known for, if you can divulge such information?
Yes, certainly, certainly. So the Selkie is kind of like a mermaid in that it is a sort of part woman, part sea creature, fantasy mythology creature. However, unlike the mermaid, the Selkie woman is a seal instead of a fish. And the way that it works is that a Selkie woman would be completely undistinguishable from the seals while she is in her seal form, but once she sheds her seal coat to dance on the shore or do whatever she wants to do on the land, she is just appears to be a woman. So it's kind of like this facade she puts on when she goes into the water and then takes off whenever she's on the land.
I see. Well, it's a good thing there is a body of water or two there at Queensferry.
Indeed.
Excellent. Let's see. Last year, I next saw you and your brother at Tulsa's Celtic Rising.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You're in pirate garb that day, as well as today, I see. And you performed a few sets on one of the stages there. And your brother had some funny ad-libs during the songs. Will you be performing there again this year as well on April 15th?
It is to be determined. I am attending university outside of the state, so it will depend on what's going on with that. But Lord willing, perhaps.
Oh, good, very good. They could use your fine talent, yours and your brother's there. I saw that he has of his own, is it a Facebook page? He has several pages of his own, does he not?
Yes, he has a Facebook page and a YouTube channel where he publishes his own music. He recently actually uploaded his first single to Spotify. He is pursuing that aspect of the entertainment genre. He's more of the two of us. My brother is more the musical side of things. I am more the acting and costuming side of things. So we make a good duo.
Yes, you do. And what is his name if people want to check him out?
My brother's name is Garrett Campbell. I know he has a page here on Facebook, and also he has a YouTube channel called Garrett Campbell Music.
And there's 2 R's and 2 T's, correct, Garrett?
Yes, indeed.
All right, very good. I listened to a few of the songs last night, so if you want to check him out, it is not all Celtic and Scottish music that he plays by far.
No, he plays a lot of kind of fantasy metal type music. I know a couple of his original songs have fantasy elements to them. So he has those aspects in his music, but also a wider variety of genre within it.
Nice. Very good. All right. Let's see. And when did you start singing yourself?
When did I start singing?
Right.
When I was a kid. I wasn't very good at it then, but I'd say I started trying to sing more. Like, I started specifically trying to improve my singing probably 5 or so years ago.
You've done a fine job.
you.
Hi, you're welcome. And how did you become a Rennie, Careena?
Well, it actually started off as kind of just a one-off thing. I'd been invited by some friends to attend the Kansas City Renaissance Festival. It was my first semester of full-time school. I was doing it all online, and my mental health was needing a serious reset button. And so I was able to go to the Kansas City Renaissance Festival with my friends, and it was just like, it was like getting to be in one of my story worlds that I would create when I was younger, but in real life. And I was like, well, this is my life now. Gotta go to these things more often.
Good call. That is a very good thing to distract oneself from the stresses of life and the outside world during the mundane, crazy times such as
Indeed.
these. And let's see, I know you've been to aforementioned festivals that I mentioned, Kansas City, Oklahoma Renaissance Festival. Have you been to any others?
Let's see. I've been to Dragon Fest. I believe they've changed the name to Dragon's Brook. I went to that one, and I also attended, I believe it's called the White Hart Renaissance Festival. I went to their, they had a brief Festival of the Goblin King or something like that this last fall, and I was able to attend one of those days with some friends from university. So trying to get more young folk like myself to be Rennies. I'm crossing my fingers. I might be getting a couple of them hooked, but yeah, kind of just figuring out wherever the fairs are near where I am and being like, hey guys, you want to go?
I see. Very good. We need more people at fairs. More people need to relax and take it easy and have a better attitude about life.
Indeed.
Pardon me. So what is your favorite aspect of Renaissance fairs?
I think my favorite aspect of Renaissance fairs is just the ability to escape, but also escape with people who like some of the same things I do. Like the fact that I can dress up and wear a garb like this and not look out of place, or experiment with my different accents and not have anybody question it. It's a way for me to explore different aspects of acting and creativity while being in an environment where that's actually like encouraged. Not that I haven't tried wearing things like this in public, not at the Renaissance Fair before, but it's a little more freeing to do an environment where not only is it accepted, but it's encouraged, and you contribute to the atmosphere by doing it.
I totally understand. I went with my wife to a neighborhood one time. It was either Sherwood or Nottingham. I believe it was Nottingham. And she took some pictures of me out in front of the sign, and I was dressed up in full garb with my cape. And then we had to get a few groceries. We went to a little Walmart neighborhood grocery store, and one of the clerks was following me all around the store. He did not know what to expect from me.
Yes, after we went to, I believe it was Dragon Fest, my friends and I went to the Filet of Chicken, and it was quite entertaining because apparently several of the workers knew that that's where we must have been, was at the Renaissance Festival. And so I was pleasantly surprised that actually even outside of the Renaissance Fair, you can actually bring joy to people by being in your garb and your persona. So that's another thing I love about the Renaissance Fair, is bringing joy to people.
Oh, yeah. Yes, very much so.
Especially the
Pardon me.
children.
I beg your pardon?
Especially the children.
Oh, yes. That is very good. Very good indeed. So speaking of seeking out the fairs near you, last year you created the group page in the Book of Faces, Oklahoma Renaissance Fairs. For it was very, very astute. When I saw that, I wondered why no one had done that before, since Facebook had become created. So you're a groundbreaking person there. I appreciate you for making me one of the administrators, moderators of the page. So I was quite honored by that. And for all of you tuning in, have not been on the page, it's for patrons to get on and share their experiences, photographs, and if anyone has questions about the Renaissance festivals and the like in Oklahoma, you can get on there and make a post. If you're a vendor or you have your own event or you're a performer, we ask that you try to limit posts about what you do to just a couple a year so everybody else that's a patron can get on there and just talk about the festivals themselves. So thank you for Gramercy for doing that, Careena. And which would you consider your home fair at this point?
I would consider Queensferry in Veneta to be my home fair, as that is where I am on the cast. It's also where I met people like you that now are my friends within the community of the Renaissance Festival. So yes, I would consider Queensferry my home fair.
Oh, yeah. Excellent choice. That is mine as well. Good place to start a family, as they call it. And I've seen some posts of you making different types of garb, costumes, as mundanes would say. Are they for specific causes, or are you making different ones to see which ones you like the best?
Well, I usually make different pieces for different types of outfits. Like several months ago, for example, I was dyeing some linen fabric to make the dress for my Saoirse the Selkie costume, or as you know, we would call it garb. And other things that I make are for other types of garb, or sometimes I also do cosplays. So I have been working on creating certain outfits for certain characters that already exist, and then certain outfits for characters of my own creation, such as Saoirse.
Ah, very nice. Well, you seem to have, you do not seem to have quite a bit of time on your hands, what with studying for school and being able to put all these together. You somehow seem to cram it all in and do a good job.
Unfortunately, studies do put a hamper on my ability to create garb, but that's what breaks are for, are they not?
It's true. It's true. Stick with that education. You will need that your whole life.
Indeed.
Yeah. Well, you certainly have a creative streak. I also had a link on your. I saw a link on your Book of Faces page to a short film you created.
Indeed.
And I would you like to explain that film?
Yes. So I am one of my majors. I'm double majoring. One of my majors is in theater, and I would like to use that in some way or another in the film industry as well. So last semester I was just working on writing some different scripts just to practice, get some experience writing, because the more you write, the better you become at it. And my friends were helping me figure out the sword play choreography in the short film. And they were getting really involved and really excited in figuring out how the sword play works, because, you know, me and my close friends, we're all, as the common folk would say, nerds of some kind or another. So we were enjoying creating these different aspects of it. And then we basically just were all like, yeah, let's film this. So I made a costume for the, or garb for the villain in about 48 hours. And we went to some woods nearby the university campus and filmed it in the course of about 3 days. So it was a very interesting experience, but a wonderful experience. I would do it again in a heartbeat. It's sort of a fantasy medieval inspired short film about a young woman who's wandering through the woods and is ambushed by a henchman of one of the leaders of the kingdom. There is a possibility for extended episodes, for lack of a better phrase. It does come from a larger storyline that I am working on. It just will depend on if and when my friends and I can get the rest of the pieces put together to create more episodes in the future.
I see. Well, very good. We would like to see more of those. It was well put together, well choreographed, and the plot line was good, as well as the setting you had and the photography, cinematography, I guess.
Well, thank you.
And you're very welcome. So if you ever need an archer, my shoulders should be well enough to shoot again by May, so just keep that in mind.
Very well noted. It is somewhat of a Robin Hood retelling, so.
Oh, huzzah.
Huzzah.
And if you ever need a stuntman, well, I'm not your guy for that. But mayhaps I can find some. And speaking of Robin Hood and movie, what are your favorite types of your favorite Ren typed movie or TV shows?
actually did not grow up on a lot of those types of shows. I actually am, people don't come for me in the comments section. I am currently working on watching through Lord of the Rings for the first time in my life.
Oh.
Just finished the extended edition of the first movie, and oh my gosh, the trauma. But I don't know that I have a favorite Ren Fair type of show or movie. I gravitate more towards the original legends and stories. For example, of the Selkies, or the different versions of Robin Hood, or different legendary heroes and greats of old. I tend to prefer those because those are closest to what it would have been like for people back in ye olden days hearing these stories. They would have heard them as oral tales. And the fun thing for me is that because I have been able to find some people who are like me and that they are interested in some of those things, we share and exchange those stories together. And some of us have aspects of the stories we know better than others. So like I can have aspects of the stories filled in that I didn't know yet, and vice versa. So I would actually say I'm a bit old-fashioned, and I actually prefer person-to-person storytelling over the movies and shows aspect. Partly because I haven't seen a whole lot of movies and shows, and partly just because I'm an old soul. I love me a good story around a dark campfire.
Well, that you would be a good fit for Queensferry then, because they did like to incorporate a lot of the Scottish history, and there's actual truth and not just myths and made up things to make money at a box office.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Very good.
Indeed.
Have you seen A Knight's Tale, perchance?
A Knight's Tale.
You have not, or you would know automatically.
I'm guessing so. No, I'm not as familiar with the shows and movies, but no, I have not seen The Knight's Tale.
I see. It's an excellent movie. It's about a jouster back in the 1400s, and he teams up with Geoffrey Chaucer for a while. He becomes his scribe and his herald. It's quite entertaining, and I've heard many people say, and I would agree, that if somebody cannot go to a Renaissance festival but wants to get the feel of one, that may be about the best movie one could watch to experience a festival.
I will be certain to check it out, and so that I can inform others as well if it is indeed. It sounds like it's a great experience.
It is. It is. And for you saying that you're kind of embarrassed not to have been able to see any of the Lord of the Rings movie yet, you do have a benefit there, because you do not have to wait a year or 2 years to watch the sequels, as some of us had to.
Indeed.
You can go in there and just hammer those out right in a row. So I like that when I hear about shows I've never seen before, and then I can just watch several of them in a row and get caught up. When I was young, we had to wait 3 years between each Star Wars movie, and it was agonizing at the end when they rolled credits. No! So you have a good benefit. Well, since you are so young and still early on this journey, do you have any long-term Rhenish goals?
I go back and forth. I have not fully decided what I would like to do. I definitely want to be a Rennie, at least part-time, as some sort of career, whether that be as a vendor or as a performer. My goal would be to work remotely for my main job and be a Rennie vendor on the side. But I don't know yet how that will look. Again, I'm still getting plugged in with the community, but I've definitely been able to talk to some people who helped me come to the realization that that might actually be more possible than I would have thought when I was first getting involved with the Renaissance festivals. So that's kind of my main long-term goal, if you want to call it that. But something that I'm working on pursuing, not necessarily at the moment, but I'm getting the proper tools in my toolbox while I'm here at college to then hopefully be able to do things like that.
That is also very forward-looking. I had not thought about that in this day where so many people can work from home. You could just be on a site if they have good Wi-Fi. And if you're working some kind of computer job during the week, you don't have to mull around during the week or sit there and work on new products or your act all the time and try to find things to entertain yourself in cities you do not live in. That is a very good idea. Very good. Well, is there anything you would like to add, Careena?
I think the main thing I would like to add is just I want people to get involved in the Renaissance Fair. I mean, I am partial to my home fair. People, please come to Veneta. Please come to Queens Ferry. We are small, but we are mighty, and we are a very loving group of people. And so that would be my main thing, is get plugged in. I remember feeling very intimidated before I went to my first Renaissance Fair, because I'd heard all these different things about how they're cool, but there's all these crazy people. And then I went to one and I was like, oh, they're my kind of crazy people. So just get involved. There are plenty of us who would love to meet you and take you by the hand and be like, it's actually not as scary as you think. And I've noticed that the more fairs I go to, the more I see people I know at those fairs, even in other states.
Oh, wow.
I've met people from Queens Ferry in some of the fairs I've been to here in Missouri. It's really cool, because you realize that the world is a small place, kind of like how it would have been in the medieval age. You know, just you see people here and there and your comings and goings, and you develop those friendships over commonalities. And so that would be my main thing I'd want to add, is just get involved, people. Come to the Renaissance Fair. We want to meet you. We want to see you. We probably also want to tell you like 3 different mythology tales, but that can wait. First, we want to meet you.
It is true. And if anyone wants to get involved and meet some of us, in 2 weekends, there will be a on-site work weekend at Veneta for Queens Ferry. And I cannot believe it's only 6 weeks away till the festival itself.
Indeed.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! I am very excited.
I am as well. I'm happy for the fair to get started and the fair season, and to put this cold weather behind us.
Indeed.
All right, very well. Well, Gramercy, I believe I can cut you out, or I can leave you in if you think of anything else in the next 2 or 3 minutes while I go over a few more things.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, well, very good. Last month I had Facebook Live, it was a YouTube Live broadcast, and you can find a link on my website, and I put a link to it on my Facebook page for 3 Saturdays ago, January whatever, 14th maybe, 13th, and also what else did I have? I'm looking. Hold on. I tried so hard this day not to use the reading glasses. Ah, that is it. All right. See, well, I read a book called The History of the American Renaissance Festivals, and I talked about that in my last broadcast. And after reading that and seeing how life is short, and after reading about the ways that different Renaissance festivals are set up differently across the country, I would like to encourage each of you viewers to go out and visit some new events this year. I myself am going to try to break out my routine and try 3 new ones, and visit one I have not been to in over 5 years. And a couple of them are going on during an event that I usually attend this spring. But if a person keeps doing the same thing over and over, time after time, year after year, the years just roll together. So this helps break things out and gives you new experiences. So let us go out and make some new memories, and have the memories that stand out. And you may find that you might like some other new events, meet new friends, as you said, from states that you do not think you can see them in. So I would like to thank my sponsors, pardon me, J&L Trading, based out of Peculiar, Missouri, sorry. You can find Jeremiah from J&L Trading at the Great Plains Renaissance Festival this spring and fall. He will also be at a few festivals in Iowa and mayhaps Nebraska. Also, I would like to thank the Bluffwoods Renaissance Festival for being a sponsor. It will take place May 20th and 21st in St. Joe, Missouri. I hope to see people there that I know. Also, Rotten Dave's Wooden Mugs, which is out of Bolivar, Missouri, and also Twisted Thistle Trading in Bonner Springs. So if anyone's been to the Kansas City Renaissance Festival, they know where Bonner Springs is. It's one of the largest fairs in the country and quite nice. Well, Huzzah and Gramercy to each of you sponsors. Did you think of anything else to add, Careena?
No, just Gramercy for having me on the stream today. It was great fun. Huzzah!
Huzzah! I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for coming. And I hope to have 2 or 3 more live guests on my broadcast this spring and mayhaps more over the summer. So to all of you watching, Godspeed to your next event. And I hope to see you at many fairs. Come look for me in my green and yellow tent. Good day. Huzzah!
Huzzah!